Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Hey Little Magpie for our March monthly challenge. This sketch has been chosen by my teammate Jackie and we're both going to be scrapping this. Now I know the sketch is actually A4 or 9 by 12, but that's not going to stop me from scrapping 12 by 12 this time. So I'm going to use the Cocoa Vanilla Studio These Days collection. I've used it before, as you'll see, there's bits missing, but I've still got plenty left and there's lots still available in the Hey Little Magpie shop. So do pop over there and get some for yourself. So I had an idea from the start of what I wanted to scrap. So I'm going to go through all the bits and pieces in this range and see if there's anything that fits with that idea. That's a photo of the roof of my house. And I want to document about living here and being in this home. So I'm going to probably not be as strict with the grid as the sketch, but I'm certainly going to be using that as inspiration for this layout. So I'm going to work my way through all the stash that I've got in this range and see which bits might be useful. Once I've done that, I'll be able to clear the decks and actually make a start. So I actually enjoy the bit where you're looking through it all, like reacquainting yourself. I'll be put everything on to one side that I don't need, definitely. These are all the 6 by 8 papers, so I'm just seeing if there's any there that might be useful to do any blocks for this grid. And there's some actual frames that I must have cut from a 12 by 12 paper for a previous layout that I've got left. That's called the Wall of Fame, that paper with the frames on. And I've mixed all the ephemera together. There was flowers as well as die cuts in this range, and I've just stuck them all in one packet, so I will go through those as well. These are the pocket cards, really useful for scrapbooking, particularly for grids. So I've put a few there that might be what I need. So I'm just going to go through and have a look. They've actually got more left than I realised, so that's perfect. There's definitely a few more layouts to be made from this range. And I really like the colourways, nice soft colours. Also got a nice outdoorsy feel with flowers and butterflies and trees and houses. So that's going to be perfect. So these stickers, they're a bit dark, I think, so they've gone to the left. I'm not sure that I want to use those. So I've just brought the sketch back up just to remind myself what it looks like. And I'm just trimming the manufacturer's strip off the background paper. And that's the Pretty Poses paper. So in fact the wood grain is meant to go across, but actually I prefer it down, so I've just turned it sideways. Who's to know, just you and me. So I'm now looking at all the bits that I'd put down that are thinking what might be useful. I do want to stick to the grid. I think it's definitely going to be a little bit more free form, particularly as my photograph is a landscape rather than a square. So I'm just going to start to lay a few bits out. It doesn't mean these are where they're going to end up, but it's just to give me an idea how it feels. I don't know how you scrapbook, but I am very much a slow scrapper. I like to take my time. I like to think about it. I like to feel like I've made the right choices. I'm not in any hurry to fill my albums. In fact, storing layouts can be an issue for a lot of people. So actually, I find that I make less layouts, but I spend more time on the layouts that I do make. I'm not worried about the numbers of layouts I make a year. I just want to record the moments and the memories. I also do Project Life, so if you watch my channel, you'll know that I do that as a way of documenting all our family's memories. I call it more of a photo diary than Project Life, if I'm honest. So I know that everything is being recorded for the future. So scrapbooking for me is very much about the process and the enjoyment. And I do. It's a way of de-stressing from life and my job, and I really enjoy it. And that's probably why it's been a hobby that I've been doing for such a long time. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that the colour of my clothes has changed. That's because this layout was made over a couple of days, just because of other commitments. And in that time, I decided that I didn't like the black on the card at the top, so I've changed that. And I've also decided that I needed another photograph. It's a very similar photograph taken on a different day. This time it is a square. I think it balances everything a little bit more. So I'm just going to have a look what else I feel I want to add in. But actually, even though it is a little free form for a grid, I do still feel that it has 3 columns. And most things are square with hard edges, a bit like the original sketch. So sketches are there just to inspire. It doesn't mean that you have to follow them rigidly. It can go whatever way it takes you, and that's perfectly fine. Remember, this is a hobby that we enjoy, so you don't need to stick to any rules at all. So looking at this, I've literally, apart from the frames, which was cut from a pattern paper, the rest are all ephemera. And that's fine with me. There's loads, as you can see, from that's in the tray. And now I'm just thinking if there's any little bits and pieces that I'd like to add in. The one in the centre I'm going to journal on, and I'll do that when off camera. But I'm now just seeing if there's any extras that I might use just to embellish a little bit further. So I've used the wood epoxy buttons, and also these are the puffy stickers, all still available in the Hey Little Magpie shop if you like the look of this range. It is really easy to design with, I have to say, and you could make so many different types of layouts using this range. So I'm just having a look. I'm cutting them off, as I say, as I always do, with the backing intact, just so that I can move them around before I make the final choice. So the story that goes behind this layout is that we moved into this house 10 years ago, which doesn't seem very surprising to anybody that I'm documenting that we've lived in a house for 10 years. But in fact, I'm living on the same site as I lived on previously. Unfortunately, 12 years ago, we had a house fire, which actually meant that we had to demolish our house, move out, live somewhere else, and the whole process took 2 years. So actually, it's definitely something worth documenting. And 10 years on, it doesn't feel like it didn't happen, but actually, for the first time, nobody in the family actually remembered the anniversary. So to me, that's an absolutely huge milestone, that 10 years on, we are pretty much back to normal. So this house looks different to the house that was here originally, obviously because this is a new build. But yeah, we've now lived here for the second time for 10 years. So that's, yeah, it's a huge achievement and definitely worth being recorded. So in just a moment, I'm going to add some die cuts to that photograph, a couple of clouds and I think a heart eventually, just to show the way I feel about this house. And yeah, so that's the story that goes with it. So I'm just going to add a few last bits and pieces, a couple of hearts to the die cut houses. I think they deserve it on their front doors. And I will then be sticking it all down off camera, so you don't need to watch me do that. So here I am, it's all stuck down. It's got some foam pads behind things just to add some variety. As you can see, it doesn't look totally like the sketch, but that's okay with me. I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. Thank you for following this video all the way through. If you like what you see, subscribe to my channel. Also to do the same for Hey Little Magpie. These are the close-ups, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.